Michigan's First Lady Sue Snyder leading a new effort aimed at preventing sexual assaults on college campuses.
Today, she hosted Michigan's first campus sexual assault prevention summit in Lansing. She believes this is a critical topic the state should be addressing. Just last year, the U.S. Education Department investigated how dozens of schools all around the country handle sexual abuse allegations. And as we told you before, some of our state's biggest schools, including U of M and MSU, were on that list.
And joining us now is Debbie Kane, the Executive Director of the Michigan Domestic and Sexual Violence Prevention and Treatment Board. Debbie, thank you very much for being with us. Help us set the stage here, really. How big of a problem is this on college campuses?
Well, unfortunately, we know sexual assault on college campuses is a problem that needs to be addressed, and we're very excited that this is an issue that First Lady Sue Snyder has been willing to address. So today we were delighted to have a summit of 450 individuals who came together to look at actually dealing with prevention and coming together and talking about how we can begin addressing this in Michigan.
Now, so many of these problems start, you've got a bunch of young people who are free for the first time of their supervision at home, and you add a little alcohol to the mix, and things just get out of hand here. So how do you get the message to the kids that they got to keep cooler heads here?
That's exactly some of what we talked about today. We were so fortunate. We had planned for terrific presenters from some of them here in Michigan who are nationally renowned and others from across the country who came. And we looked at actually things like where does alcohol fit into the mix. We looked at the neurobiology of trauma. So we looked at a number of different issues, including how students can be prepared for when they come to college campuses and what they need to know so that they can minimize the risk of sexual assault, and what to do if in fact they are in situations, how they can best respond to those situations. So we're talking about things like college orientations and how students can be prepared for dealing with a new college environment.
Some survivors we know spoke at today's event. Talk about the messages that they shared.
There were two incredibly courageous young women who talked about sexual assaults that they had experienced in their own college days. They were incredibly eloquent and brave in talking about their experiences. And in both situations, the story that they described was unfortunately all too familiar. And I think that what it really drives home is that it's a problem that is all too familiar on college campuses, and it resonated with so many of the people in the audience. And so we were incredibly grateful that they were willing to come and share their experience with us.
Now, one of the problems we have in Michigan is different schools seem to have different policies on how they deal with sexual assaults and so forth on campus. How can you reconciliate that and explain to parents which school has what? Is this what the state is trying to do, come up with a unified policy?
Well, I think part of the First Lady's goal is to really get college campuses talking and looking at collaborating with one another, with their communities, with their students, with their faculty and their Title IX officers, to look at what works on their particular college campus. The reality is it may not be a one-size-fits-all situation for each and every college campus. There are a number of different ways that colleges can uniquely look at what's in the best interest of their particular situation. So the exciting thing about today is that there's so much going on around the country, and right now there is just tremendous creativity. And so we're very excited that this was an opportunity really to hear from national experts about different varieties of new programming, everything from bystander programming to different kinds of policies, different initiatives.
Debbie,
and
we're
so
going to have
really
to stop
rather
you
than
there.
encouraging people.
We're going to have to stop you there, I'm sorry, but it sounds like great strides were made today, and we appreciate your time this afternoon. Debbie Kane, good to have you with us.
7 Action.